The massive alien vessel hung silently in orbit around Earth, its sleek, angular design a stark contrast to the hodgepodge of human satellites and stations scattered across space. Inside the ship's engineering bay, a towering insectoid alien named Thuracle clicked its mandibles in curiosity. It studied a hastily scribbled note left behind by the human engineer assigned to repair their system. The note, written in bold, slightly smudged handwriting. That button says do not press seriously. Don't. They'll cause catastrophic system failure engineering specialist Mark Vance Thuracle's black compound eyes reflected the warning. Beneath its carapace, its mind churned with confusion and a hint of mischief. The humans were odd creatures, always over-explaining things, their warnings always so melodramatic. What could be so catastrophic? Thuracle muttered, its voice a series of clicks translated into smooth, monotone galactic standard by the ship's neural interface. Thuracle stood in front of the console where the aforementioned button sat, a small, unassuming red circle glowing faintly. On the other side of the bay, another alien crewmate, Jexal a serpentine creature with shimmering scales, hissed in disapproval. Don't touch it, Thuracle. Humans are primitive, but they're annoyingly precise about their engineering. If they say not to press it, don't press it. Thuracle scoffed, its mandibles clicking with defiance. Their technology barely functions as it is. I bet it's a bluff. Humans are prone to exaggeration. Jexal narrowed its violet eyes. The last time you doubted a human warning, we had to evacuate the food storage deck for 6 cycles. Though you want a repeat of the protein fungus incident, But Thuracle's claw hovered over the button, the temptation too great. This is different. It's one button. What could possibly? The ship shuddered violently. Lights flickered, panels exploded in sparks, and an ear-piercing alarm echoed through the corridors. Catastrophic system failure, the ship's AI announced in a disturbingly calm voice. Thuracle stumbled as the floor tilted beneath its clawed feet. Jexal shrieked and latched onto a nearby support beam. What are you doing? Jexal hissed, tail flailing to maintain balance. Thuracle's mandibles trembled. I don't know. I thought. Before it could finish, a holographic display appeared in the center of the room, showing a countdown. Emergency warp drive activation in 10 minutes, the AI intoned. Destination unknown. Far away, aboard the human engineering shuttle stubborn Grace Mark Vance was finishing his coffee when the distress signal blared. His comms console buzzed with the agitated voice of Captain Solis. Vance, the Nerithix Prime is sending out a Priority 1 emergency signal. Did you finish the repairs? Mark groaned, setting down his mug. Yeah, I finished them. Told them not to press the button What happened? Mark slammed his head against the console. Of course they did. Mark glanced at the schematics on his display, his mind racing. The alien ship's warp drive was tied to the human-made auxiliary systems he'd installed, a fail-safe designed to lock down the ship in case of tampering. Except now it seemed the fail-safe had been triggered. I can try, Mark said, strapping himself into his pilot's seat. But if they've got 10 minutes, I'm cutting it real close. The stubborn Grace shot toward the Nerithix Prime dodging debris as the alien ship's hull fractured under the strain of the malfunction. Inside the engineering bay, Thuracle and Jexal frantically tried to stabilize the ship's systems, but the controls refused to respond. Just as the countdown hit 3 o'clock the human shuttle docked with a deafening clang Moments later, Mark Vance stormed into the bay carrying a heavy toolkit and radiating the fury of a parent finding their toddler with the permanent marker. Thuracle hesitated, its mandibles quivering. It was me. Mark sighed, muttering to himself as he shoved past the aliens. Why do I even bother leaving notes? It's like working with toddlers who have claws. He flipped open a panel and began marauding power with a speed that left both aliens stunned. Sweat dripped from his forehead as sparks flew, his hands moving with practiced precision. Will this stop the warp drive? Jexal asked nervously. Mark didn't look up. Nope, I'm just trying to make sure we don't all die when it activates. The ship lurched violently as the warp drive engaged, fleeing the Nerithix Prime and the stubborn Grace into a swirling vortex of hyperspace. Mark clung to a railing, yelling over the roar of the engines. Thuracle clicked apologetically. In hindsight, your warning was very clear. The glittering sphere loomed below, its surface a hypnotic patchwork of iridescent structures that defied physics. Towers spiraled in and out of themselves like Mobius strips, while rivers of liquid light wove through crystalline forests. The alien star system's vibrant hues painted the viewports in surreal colors. Mark Vance rubbed his temples, the overwhelming strangeness amplifying his already monumental frustration. "Let me guess," he said, glaring at Thoracle and Jexel. "This system isn't on any of your maps, is it?" Thoracle's mandibles clicked nervously. "No, but it's intriguing, is it not? Perhaps this is a... Don't even try to justify it." Mark cut him off, grabbing his toolkit. "We need to figure out if the ship can still jump back. Whatever's down there, I don't want to meet it." But before he could finish the thought, the ship shuddered. A strange hum filled the cabin, a vibration that wasn't mechanical but almost alive. The ship emerged from hyperspace in an uncharted star system, the stars shining unnaturally bright. Mark looked out the viewport, his jaw dropping. "Where are we?" Jexel whispered. Mark squinted at the planet below, a massive, glittering sphere covered in impossible structures. The AI voice interrupted, this time with an edge of unease. "External energy source detected. It is interacting with primary systems. Shields failing." "What?" Mark bolted to the nearest console, his fingers flying across the interface. "That's not possible. Your shields were at full capacity when I patched them." Jexel hissed an alarm as the hum grew louder, vibrating through the ship's walls. "What's happening? Are we under attack?" "No," Mark muttered, his expression darkening. "It's worse. Something down there just hacked your systems. It's pulling us in." The Narethix Prime began its slow, inevitable descent toward the planet. Control panels sparked and flickered as the ship fought back against the unknown force. Despite Mark's best efforts to reroute power, the pull was relentless. Thoracle tried to remain optimistic. "Perhaps they wish to communicate. This could be a first contact situation." Mark shot him a deadly look. "This isn't a handshake. It's an abduction." The atmosphere burned bright as the ship entered the planet's gravity well, buffeted by turbulence. Mark strapped himself into a seat, barking orders. "Brace yourselves. This is going to be rough." The Narethix Prime hit the surface with a thunderous crash, skidding across a metallic plane and coming to a halt amidst glowing crystalline spires. The ship groaned under the strain but miraculously held together. The moment the engines fell silent, the hum returned, resonating through the ship. Strange lights began to swirl outside the viewport, shapes that defied comprehension like three-dimensional shadows. Thoracle peered out cautiously. "What are those?" Mark grabbed a handheld scanner from his kit, frowning at the readings. "I don't know. They're not giving off heat, light, or any electromagnetic signature. It's like they're... nothing." A sharp clang echoed through the hull. Something was at the airlock. Jexel coiled tighter, its scales shimmering nervously. "They're trying to get in." "Stay back," Mark ordered, pulling out his plasma cutter. "If they breach that door..." Before he could finish, the airlock slid open on its own. A wave of cold, otherworldly air rushed into the bay, bringing with it an overwhelming sense of wrongness. The lights flickered, and for a moment Mark thought he saw something, shimmering forms like ghosts moving through the shadows. Then a voice spoke, not out loud, but directly into their minds. "You are intruders in the domain of the unseen. Why have you come?" Mark clenched his fists, trying to keep his thoughts coherent under the psychic pressure. "It wasn't intentional. Your planet pulled us in. We just want to leave." The presence seemed to ripple, the voice growing sharper. "You've activated the key. You are now bound by its consequence." Thoracle's mandibles trembled. "Key? What key?" Mark's stomach sank. "The button," he muttered. "You pressed the button. It triggered this." The shimmering forms coalesced into something vaguely humanoid, tall figures with no features, their bodies made of shifting light. They surrounded the crew, their presence suffocating. The key was pressed. The price must be paid. Mark stepped forward, defiant. "Hold on. You can't blame the whole crew for one idiot's mistake." He jabbed a thumb at Thoracle. Thoracle clicked indignantly. "Hey." The unseen ignored the bickering. "You are bound by your connection to the key. One of you must prove your worth, or face obliteration." Mark groaned. "Let me guess. Some kind of test, right? Life or death stakes." "You understand." A glowing portal opened in the center of the bay, pulsing with strange energy. Mark turned to the aliens, his expression grim. "Of course it's a test. It's always a test." He glanced at the unseen. "Fine. I'll do it. Just let my ship and crew go if I win." The unseen rippled, their voices overlapping like an ominous chorus. "We shall see if humanity is worthy of its boldness. Step forward, human." Mark stepped through the portal and found himself in a vast, surreal arena. Gravity warped and shifted, and the air buzzed with invisible tension. Across from him stood an opponent, another shimmering figure, but this one bristling with blades of pure light. A voice echoed through the arena. "Survive. Only then shall you and your companions be free." Mark tightened his grip on his plasma cutter, sweat dripping down his face. Great, just another Tuesday. As the figure lunged toward him, Mark dodged, his mind racing. This wasn't just about strength. It was about strategy, ingenuity, and sheer human stubbornness. And if there was one thing humanity excelled at, it was refusing to back down. Mark Vance dodged another strike from the blade-wielding unseen figure, his muscles burning from exertion. The arena twisted around him, gravity shifting unpredictably. His opponent moved like a blur, each attack faster and more precise than the last. The voice of the unseen echoed in his mind. "Your kind is audacious, but audacity is not survival. Show us your worth or perish." Mark spat on the ground, gripping his plasma cutter tighter. "You're right about one thing. Humans are audacious. But that's how we survived this long. Now let's see if you're ready for this." Mark's plasma cutter wasn't designed for combat, but it was a tool, and humans had a knack for using tools creatively. As the unseen figure lunged again, Mark triggered the cutter, sending a jet of plasma toward the arena floor. The ground beneath his opponent melted slightly, destabilizing the figure's footing. It stumbled, its light blades faltering for just a moment. "That's my opening," Mark muttered, sprinting forward. He drove the plasma cutter toward the figure, aiming for its core, but the unseen reacted with inhuman speed, deflecting the blow and slashing at Mark's arm. He cried out, blood trickling down his sleeve, but he refused to stop moving. "You're not fighting some primitive species," he growled. "You're fighting humans, and we never play fair." Mark's mind raced, piecing together the nature of the arena and the unseen. They were testing him, testing humanity, but why? What were they looking for? He realized the arena itself responded to intention and thought. The gravity shifts, the bizarre architecture. It wasn't random. It was reactive. Mark smirked. "Okay, let's see how you handle this." He leaped toward a floating platform, using the plasma cutter to propel himself upward. The unseen followed, its light blades whirling like a hurricane. But as it closed in, Mark focused his thoughts, willing the platform to shift. The platform jerked sideways, slamming into the unseen. For the first time, the figure stumbled, its form flickering. "Gotcha," Mark said, seizing the moment. He hurled a damaged piece of his plasma cutter like a grenade, the improvised weapon striking the unseen's core. The figure erupted into a cascade of light, dissolving into the arena. The arena went silent. The shifting architecture froze, and Mark found himself standing alone. The voice of the unseen returned, its tone now tinged with something resembling respect. "You have demonstrated ingenuity, resilience, and adaptability. These traits define your species. You are worthy." Mark staggered, clutching his injured arm. "Great. Now how about sending me and my crew home?" The light around him shimmered, and in an instant, he was back on the Nerethix Prime. Therakel and Jexel stared at him, their eyes wide with shock. What happened?" Jexel asked. Mark leaned against a console, his face pale but triumphant. "I convinced them we're not worth obliterating." "You're welcome." As the Nerethix Prime powered back up, the hum faded. The ship's eye announced, "External interference has ceased. Navigation systems restored." Therakel clicked nervously. "Are we free to leave?" Mark nodded. "Yeah, but before we go." He activated his scanner, analyzing the data from the planet below. The readings were unlike anything he'd ever seen. A treasure trove of advanced technology and unknown energy signatures. Therakel tilted his head. "What are you doing?" Mark grinned. "Logging the coordinates. If this place exists, it might hold answers to questions we haven't even thought to ask yet. Just because it tried to kill us doesn't mean we can't learn from it. That's the human way." Jexel hissed.